Hi, everybody.
Hi.
It's Kim and Jen from Fleece and Harmony in Belfast, Prince Edward Island on this beautiful day. Luckily, the snow has melted. Yesterday, it was pure white.
Just for fun, we'll show a picture of that I took this morning.
Oh, did you?
Of
Okay.
Domino standing in just 3 inches of snow.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes.
April
so literally,
29th, by the way.
Literally, you could not see across the pasture.
No, it was a blizzard yesterday.
So today is April 28th, but you'll be watching on May 1st.
Yeah.
May still be snow after that. So that's it. So it's quite something. But that's the way it is. They call that robin snow apparently in the spring.
Because it's robbing you of all your happiness?
No, because the robins are here and they're getting snowed on. Okay.
I'm sure they're just as thrilled as everybody else about it.
Yep. So we're happy to report that we actually don't even have a farm update, really. Nothing happened last week that is worth note other than just the regular chores and all the stuff that we do.
Good.
So that's good news lately. That's good news. So we can get right into the shop or the whips and stuff, unless you want to talk about something else.
No, if only I had brought mine.
Okay.
I'll go get it.
All right.
Okay. So, guess who knit?
Yes.
For real.
Your knitting mojo is back.
Well, it does feel kind of like a mojo thing. Oh, I am actually enjoying it.
Okay.
I don't know what
great.
happened. All of a sudden, I just felt like doing
It's
it.
just a phase.
The phase. It was the longest I've gone without knitting in the last 4 years.
Yeah. Right.
For sure.
Oh, well. Time for a break then. And now you're back.
So the front.
It's noticeably bigger.
Yeah, it's done.
Great.
Okay. 2.5 millimeter needles.
Mm-hmm.
This is the back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another one of these required for the back.
Right.
This is the front. And if I were to follow the pattern in order, I would do another one of these right off the bat.
But that's not fun.
Well, I don't know. I was pretty torn about it, to be honest, because it would be
Okay.
nice to have the bulk of it done and then get to the fun part.
Yeah.
If you're into delayed gratification.
You're
like
assuming the
I
lace is
thought.
going to be fun.
I think the lace is going to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's my front. FLATROCK. Done.
Yay.
Finished it.
Yes.
Then
Partial FO. If you can say
it's
that.
a PFO, which also means please. Anyway. And this is the cuff to my first sleeve.
Great.
I was going to try to do 2 sleeves at once.
Mm-hmm.
I decided that probably wasn't a great idea.
I don't really like it. I think
I
it's
just didn't want
overrated.
it. You'd have to have 2 balls, right?
Yeah, and then, I don't know. I've done socks 2 at a time on Magic Loop, which was kind of a, you have to think about where you are all the time. And your gauge is consistent, so the only thing that I would say about doing 2 at a time is that you always make sure that you've got exactly the same length.
Yeah.
But as long as you can measure and your gauge is good, then...
Like, I think I would like the idea of it.
Yeah.
But I'm just not sure if I really want to deal with the logistics of it right now.
But aren't you using 2 balls anyway?
No.
You're not alternating for this?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why. I think because it's really broken up with that in behind the top stitch.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is a pretty open lace.
Oh, okay.
I'm not...
You probably are going to have enough.
Yeah,
with the
like this
ball.
one ball will
Okay.
probably certainly do at least the full sleeve. I don't know why. For this project, not super worried about it.
Okay.
Around the top, the yoke,
Yes.
I might.
Yes.
Yeah. But
That
for the
makes sense.
sleeves and the front
I've done
and
that
back.
before too.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at figuring out when I need to and when I don't.
Yeah.
So, I expect this sleeve to go relatively quickly.
Well, yeah. It's and how open is the lace? Because I haven't seen
Pretty
the sweater
open, I
up
think.
close because when the ones that have been finished by our friends.
It essentially sort of matches like these little peekaboo holes here.
Oh,
So it would
okay.
be like,
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of
So that'll
looks
be nice.
consistent. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Fun.
the thing is, like, this is just going to be the most lovely sweater.
Yes. It's going to be lovely.
So I'm excited. I have to do another one of these. That's going to be the big thing.
But you got
done.
quite a lot done. Like once you got your mojo back, it went pretty fast.
It doesn't
I have to
go
say.
terribly slow,
Yeah.
really. The problem is I probably can't watch TV or do anything else while I'm doing it. So
okay.
it's really like
Concentrating
that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
I think. Although now I've definitely got very familiar with the pattern. I might
faster.
try it. I might try to watch TV tonight. I got it.
And I think that, you know, as you do these pieces and you practice does make it go faster for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting pretty slick on it because it's a bit confusing of a stitch pattern to get used to. It took me a while, like 14 and a half inches approximately.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I can go pretty fast because I more or less know the lay of the land with it.
Yeah, because you're a pretty fast knitter, actually, faster than me, really.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Find out how the sleeves come together.
Stay tuned next week.
I'm a little bit concerned because Jennifer did send me a DM that said, I hope the lace doesn't make you angry.
She's just thinking about the mohair lace shawl story.
She didn't remember about that.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe anyway, I don't feel like it's going to make me angry, but we'll see.
Right.
I am not there yet. Okay.
Okay.
So that was that.
So the scarf, the knit night scarf is not making an appearance. Because it's just ribbed.
It's just boring, and I figured out where the mistake was when I was on last episode. I had gone halfway across a row and then turned back and went back in the other direction, which made a hole.
Yeah. So that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Anyway, I ripped that out and got that all sorted out and worked on it a bit more.
It's happened before. I forget which project
Monday
I did that.
Night. Oh, do it all
Just
the time.
happens. It seems like it's almost like how you think to yourself, how could you possibly do that? But then
It's
you
possible.
do it. But then you do it. I've done it. I think I actually did it in my Joe Bat's arm.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's really a problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal in my 2x2 ribbed scarf, but
yeah, that was
doing that in a cable thing like that would be a bit of a nightmare.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm not going to show anything on CORNWALLIS because I've decided I'm going to use a smaller needle size. So the only thing to show if I had done it would be my next swatch. So I am going to unravel the swatch that I made and I'm going to make another swatch out of that yarn. I'm going to reuse that yarn for the swatch, and I've decided for sure that I want to do something a little bit denser, the fabric a little bit denser, so I'm not going to bother showing that. But I will show my hinterland.
Okay.
Because I have the sleeve, one of the sleeves attached. Oh, it kind of looks like a balled up mess. Let me get it straightened out. So I'm really on the home stretch now.
Pretty.
Yeah, so this is what you do at the end of your sleeve, and it really does make the sleeves enjoyable because you know you're working at your decreases. So you're counting. I have to decrease on my size of the pattern every 12th row, and by the time you do get the decreases done, you're just about down to where you start the color work, and then you do the color work.
Now, was I mistaken? I thought this was a bell sleeve at the bottom.
Yeah, I thought so too, but that is with a bigger needle size. It's not really. It's just kind of, and you do go in quite tight here. So I don't know what it's gonna look like when it's on.
But it looks like a bell sleeve in her photo.
Yeah, it might be more bell when I block it.
Okay.
But there's no the stitches aren't, the floats aren't tight in the back, and it's just maybe it depends on what size you knit too, how much of a bell. Because you have to keep the repeats. I'm knitting the third size on the sleeve, so the small has less stitches, but you have to have this many stitches to do the repeat. So I don't know if it maybe looks more belled. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like but that's the way mine looks. And I've tried it on with the sleeve, and it looks really nice. So I've made mine a little. It comes to about here. When I tried it on, it's kind of hard to tell because it's not up all the way on my shoulder, but I know that our yarn goes up, so it'll be just about perfect, right? Where I like it.
It's nice. Really nice.
It's really nice.
It'll look so different after blocking.
Yeah,
like it really needs a lot of smoothing out. But.
Yeah, and with the weather the way it is, it'll still be perfect sweater weather for wearing my hinterland. So that's
so nice.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. I'll be able to wear it.
Thank goodness, because it would be terrible if you didn't get to wear that this May.
Right. Or June. Even June. The evenings get chilly.
I don't know. Maritimers love to live here, but we're always complaining about the weather.
Yeah, that's right.
It's only nice when it's nice, and the rest of the time, it's not.
Yeah.
There's a saying for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. So And then my Paisley sweater hasn't come yet from Norway, so I still have that.
And
to
your
look
little
forward
hat,
to.
your little jaunty cap.
Yeah, I'll do that later.
So speaking of kits ordered from away,
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
You did
Part
a
of
thing.
what inspired me to start knitting again was this little kit I ordered. I'm going to give a little shout out to Kate Davies because this photo of this project came up on her Twitter, and I fell instantly in love. And I have bought 2 balls of yarn exactly since we got our own mill.
Right.
Because why would you buy yarn when you own a woolen mill?
Right.
I bought one as part of a GoFundMe for a Long Way Homestead. And I bought a Mayak
Yeah.
through the Fruity Knitting Patreon discount.
Right.
Because I wanted to try a yak yarn. That's it. Then I went and bought this kit from Kate Davies, and I'm super excited about it. I love the perfect strawberry color, which she said was cherry, but I'm sure either one.
Yeah. Interchangeable, really.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to picking out the perfect lipstick to go with it, which of course Kate already had in her photos.
Oh,
And
so an excuse to buy lipstick too.
and I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like it'll be quite simple but satisfying. So I'm going to knit with somebody else's stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm excited. And I'm excited that when I did choose to spend money, it was with Kate because I
Yeah.
think she's pretty amazing. So.
Yeah. And I have to, I am really embracing the simple knitting with this sweater
Right
as
now,
well.
it's- yeah.
I think you know, for me from now on, I'm like I always said that I try to be, or I'm usually monogamous. This last little bit I haven't been, but I think it's really worthwhile to have something simple that you can just relax and knit, and then something that's a little more challenging so that you don't get bored. So I'm changing my
Outlook.
outlook a little bit. And
Okay.
I think
I
that
agree with
having one of each is
Yeah.
a good play. Mm-hmm. So, and my hat is kind of not really in the naughty corner because it's me that's naughty, not the hat. But I'm not sure about the colors that I want to finish the crown, so I'm avoiding it.
It's worsted.
Yeah. I have tons of yarns to use.
Okay.
I've got so many choices in my bag that I can use, and I'm a little bit afraid. I'm going kind of for an edgy one.
An edgy tam.
No, yeah, an edgy color selection, but I'm not really 100% confident about it, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to rip it back, and I don't really feel like doing that right now. Though I'm a big fan.
Would you like some help with putting them
No,
together?
no, I'm going to do them.
No?
No, you said you didn't want to help me.
No, I didn't. I
You
thought
said
it would be
you
fun
do
if it
the
was a surprise.
Yeah, so it's going to be a surprise.
Look at these. This is a really cool combination that not
Yes.
too many people would put together.
Yeah, that's right. So this is the sweater you thought we had the same one, but
Yeah.
it's not. So my stripes are different.
Yeah. I had I love mine like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So-
cashmere.
Yeah.
End of April.
Yeah. Perfect.
Cozy.
3/4 sleeves though.
It's actually hot in here.
Yeah, 3/4 sleeve.
All right.
So my hair is really bugging me. You did your hair.
It's you need a smoother.
Yeah, so I actually combed it with the rabbit's brush this morning or today. So I washed it and blew it dry this morning, but we're recording this late in the afternoon, so I'm in the mill. So the only thing that I could have other than the brush that we clean the carder with, which I didn't want to do, was the rabbit's comb. So I combed it with that. So
That explains a lot.
yeah. So
I think that's like one of those wire dog brushes. Probably split all your ends.
well, they're already split. Let's face it. I haven't had a haircut in
Your
months.
color looks even.
Yeah, except on there.
I did
Yeah.
mine. I just tried to blend it.
Yeah.
Our lovely niece Danielle sent me some toner, and she said if I left it on too long, it could potentially turn blue. So
Oh.
that was very motivating.
Okay.
So it's a very subtle effect. I have more left. I might add a little bit to it, but
Yeah.
I think it got rid of the.
Yeah.
You
it
know?
blends.
Yeah.
And then the other hair issue that I have is that hairs are popping up where they shouldn't be popping up.
Thanks for sharing. Like
Yeah.
in your food?
No, on my body. So
Be more specific.
okay, so
On your face?
it started.
Oh gosh.
No, wait. It started a long time ago, like 10 years ago. That there was this little hair that was growing right way under here that you couldn't even notice it. It went flat against my thing, or against my chin. But I guess I do this a lot because I used to feel it. So then I would pluck that. Now that's disappeared. So it doesn't, it must have been, I plucked so many times that it didn't come back. So that's good. Now that's good. And then, I don't know, there'll be a random, I found a random one like at the top of my shoulder. And now my eyebrows, I don't have to pluck my eyebrows anymore because they've been plucked for so many years that now they just stay, I guess would kill the root. But the hair on my eyebrows is growing. Do you remember that, the guy, I don't know if they call him a premier or, I think he was a premier of Japan. When the G8.
I know the eyebrows.
Yeah,
amazing.
Now mine are growing like that. I have to actually brush them and then cut them with the scissors.
I've had to do that forever. I have really long eyebrows.
Really?
You can just take the eyebrow trimmer and
I don't have an eyebrow trimmer, but I never had that happen before, and now that's what's happening. I don't know.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know. And then if we really want to get candid, yeah, it's fine. I wear glasses as well, and I was in the shower and I looked down at my legs and I thought, "What God, my veins are becoming very prominent." And then I realized that it's been weeks since I shaved my legs.
What a mess!
So I'm a mess. It's all got to do with hair.
I hope everybody's okay with all this.
It's really terrible. I feel that hair is not my friend right now.
Getting old is no fun.
No.
All right. Well, that was certainly very informative.
Yeah, a little tangent there.
I don't think...
Sorry if that was too much information,
I don't
folks.
think I have anything to add to that one, but if you're wondering about the bikini, I'm still waiting for the elastic to arrive.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That's it.
And to learn to crochet.
Minor detail.
Yeah, okay, great. So shall we talk about what you're wearing?
Sure. So this is an FO, but it's a Jennifer Hicks FO.
Yes.
And
knit by the lovely Jennifer Hicks.
We're in love with it.
Yes.
And she worked on it diligently, and it's that nice that I actually felt bad taking it from her.
Yeah. But we did.
But I did.
It's a store sample.
So it's, I know, but it is really nice.
Yes.
And she loves it. And it's the Earhart shawl, which we put on as a kit. Mm-hmm. And we've now listed it with a black background too.
Yeah.
Which would be super fun as well. And Jennifer's doing a little swatch section to kind of show what that will look like. So we'll hopefully have that by next recording. Mm-hmm. But look at the size of this.
Yes.
It is light as a feather.
Yeah.
Soft, soft, soft.
Mm-hmm.
So this white fine lace by Rowan is just heavenly.
Yes. Oh, I was excited to see it knit up, and it didn't disappoint.
Far from it.
Yeah.
It exceeded expectations. Because
Yes.
you think, well, you're mixing it with the silk mohair, is it going to hold up in terms of the luxury?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's really,
And
really nice.
I'm going to
Beautiful.
list this as another Rowan line now. We have a few colors of it.
Yeah, we'll do a little rundown about where we are with Rowan.
But it's a lovely yarn.
Yeah.
And this is just straight garter.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful project. Yeah. And she had tons of the colors left.
Right.
Not a lot of the white. Well, no, she had almost an extra ball of the white left too.
Yeah.
So you can do...
She used a little less, even though she got gauged, so I'm not... it's generous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would get the kit for the project, but you could also do a lot of other projects with what's left over.
Right.
And it comes with the book that contains the pattern. So you get the full Rowan magazine.
The
in the kit.
magazine number 67.
Yeah, and the yarn to make
I'm
this.
I'm really excited to see the black swatch as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's as good as what we think. Anyway, just look at these colors.
Yeah. It looks very festive.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
it reminds me of popsicles, I think.
It's just everything perfect.
Yeah.
It's a lot like the neon sock kit. It's the same kind of...
cheerful and lovely.
Same
and
kind
when
of
we
deal.
packed the box, it looked lovely too.
It's just so soft and airy.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's hard to get across. I think this is the most beautiful shawl that we've ever had in this building, and we've had some nice ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of my Birds of a Feather that I did, but
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
too. I forgot about that one.
yeah, it has that kind of same kind of feeling to it.
Yeah.
Even though my Birds of a Feather is heavier. This Rowan lace is
It
really
weighs nothing.
something.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, around here you'd have to be
No.
worried you'd lose it.
No, I think she
put a
was
pin on
saying
it.
like, you know, the number of grams. It's like she said 10 grams of
Yeah.
one and 10 grams of another. So
There.
Yeah.
I don't want it to blow away.
no, that's it. So that and then like we talked about in the last episode, we thought that it would look nice with the black background. So we have that.
We're
as
gonna
well.
try that.
Yeah. All right.
So that's
and then now
Earhart.
the next thing is that we were going to talk about that shawl stick that you just put
Oh.
right in there.
So the dragonfly that we put on pre-order, they've arrived. So we have quite a few of these,
Yeah.
a dozen or so
Yeah,
left.
a dozen.
Some people did pre-order them. It's lovely. So this is a new thing from Jewel. We're the only shop in Canada that has it right now,
Yeah.
even though I know most of you are in the US. Still.
Yeah. For now.
So it's just, and look, it's just perfect. Goes right in here. Like, it's
Yeah.
just
stunning.
nice. So that's in stock officially.
Yes.
And then we got this beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know how you knit a pair of socks in a week. But personally, I would love to have 52 pairs of wool socks.
Yes.
I mean, this is a crazy book if you're a sock knitter. And it has this lovely ribbon so you can keep track of where you are.
What week you're at.
It's done by the publishers of Lina. So, of course, it's absolutely a stunning book. It even smells good.
Yeah. It's a hardcover
New
and
book
it's like
smell.
cloth covered on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
Really, really nice. And I know a lot of people were already familiar with it because it's been
Kinda
very
late to it,
popular for them. We're a little bit late.
Yeah.
But beautiful. So we have these in stock and we're shipping them out.
Yeah.
And then we got these again.
Yes.
Knitting Comfortably. So these went pretty quick last time. We ordered a bunch more, and it's an extremely useful book, very valuable for staying healthy while you knit, which I could use a little bit of right now.
It
because
makes a big difference
my
if you
rotator
practice.
cuff is always hurting from farm work,
Yeah.
and it's exacerbated by knitting. I'm not sure what he can do with that. He probably doesn't carry ripping hay from a bale in the book, but
But he does talk about all the parts that can be affected
Yeah.
by knitting. So anything that
I
is
mean, I'll have a
exasperated.
look. Yeah. Exacerbated?
Exacerbated by.
Exasperated.
No, exacerbated.
Exacerbated.
Exacerbated. Then
Yeah.
he covers all
I'll
the
look
parts.
at the rotator cuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that big update. Then, surprise of all surprises, I found that there was some GLASHVIN Granite I didn't list.
Oh.
I'm not sure what happened there. So we have 9 skeins of this, and if you remember, GLASHVIN Granite came out a couple months ago. It's a natural 100% black wool.
Right.
Super, super sturdy, and we thought it would make an amazing pair of boot socks and that kind of thing. It's just got some real
Yeah, it's toothy, as they say.
toothy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super toothy.
Yeah.
So these 9 skeins of GLASHVIN Granite are listed. Put the link below. And if you missed out on that, you can scoop that up. That's definitely a sweater quantity too for somebody if you want it. Rachel's working with a similar yarn of ours right now that we chose not to sell, and she's making a carbeth out of it.
Oh, really?
It's going to be beautiful because the natural brown, and it's like it's just it's going to be. It looks like, I'm guessing that it's going to look almost like a tweedy kind of version of the carbeth. So that would be really nice too. Yeah. Oops, I probably hit the microphone with that. Okay.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about Rowan, it specifically because we've been saying that we're gonna start carrying Rowan. So now the status is that we have all the shades of Summerlight DK. So the cotton yarn that I'm making my CORNWALLIS sweater out of, we have all of the shades available. So that's good. That's complete. We have Kid Silk Haze, and we're adding 5 or 6 shades. It seems like we're doing an order every 2 weeks or so, or more. So we're
every 2 days.
Yeah. So we're getting there. We still don't have all of them, but because there is quite a lot, but we have we've tipped the scale to have most of them now. And in the lace, because we knew that we suspected that this was going to be nice. And the picture on the Rowan magazine 67, that beautiful, beautiful top on the front is also made out of the lace. So we got in that color to go with that. We've got the white, we've got the black, and then we picked 2 or 3 other colors that we thought would be nice. And based on the success of this sample, I think that may be the next Rowan yarn that we'll get all of them in.
Yarn.
Yeah, they're really, really nice. So if anybody looks on our website and wants a color, they know of a color of the lace that we don't have yet, just drop us a line, because we're going to order all of them. So it's just a matter of, we did a special order for a customer for one of the kids' silkays, and we just ordered it. That was on the list for the next color that we would carry. So we have no problem doing that.
It's all so lovely.
Yes.
So pretty. Yeah. I was just thinking, if you held some kid silkays with this, that would be amazing too. Like a nice rich brown or something. Yeah. Just makes everything, floofier.
Floofier. That's right. That's the
official term. It makes everything super decadent.
Yes, it does.
So.
And this yarn is, we said it's good for socks because we twisted it a little bit tighter, and it's a sturdy wool, but it has a smoothness to it that was a little bit surprising even for me when I finished spinning it. I thought, it's
a different one.
Yeah.
We probably couldn't duplicate it if we tried. It's just one of those things. It's just a particular
fleece. It comes from
fleece.
one sheep. Yeah, it's a fleece from one sheep, like 2 sheep. I think it was, the 2 of them were related.
Yeah. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. If you like a traditional, undyed, untreated, serviceable wool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's right.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we just wanted to mention the swatching tutorials. We finished, there was 3 that we did, and we finished, we've presented all 3 of them in different podcasts. So those are going to go up on the tutorial playlist. So you'll be able to go there. And just to remind everybody, we had the original how to do a swatch. So that was the basic, just how to do it. Then we did, the second part was actually counting your gauge from the swatch and some tips for that. And then the third one was get the gauge you like, and then how to adjust your pattern so that you can use the gauge that you like. So if you want it, like what I'm doing with my Cornwallis, I have gauge more or less with the swatch that I did, but I want a tighter fabric, so I'm going to just adjust the pattern based on what my gauge swatch tells me. So that's it. So
part of the fun.
Yeah, part of the fun. Opens up a whole.
Yeah, it's very it's very fulfilling when you can do that. Liberating.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can knit anything out of anything.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So those are there. So we had a ball reading the comments about the local sayings.
Funny.
Really funny. So
I was laughing out loud about your reply to one this morning. Somebody said he's so far out in he has to come in to hunt. He's so far out in the woods he has to come in to hunt.
Yeah.
And then you said, I think we know his neighbor.
I did. Anyway, there's been some really good ones.
Yeah.
And it's, I find it really funny because there's a lot of common sayings that people probably think that their family is the only one that says it, but they're common. And I wanted to, so we were laughing in the barn one morning saying about how, if you wanted to try to fit in with the what would be a good test if you were, I don't know, trying to be undercover in PEI. And there's this little...
It's in Nova Scotia too.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in fact, it's what I'm going to tell you about is that it's where Gaelic speakers have landed.
Ah.
Okay. So there's a really good one that some islanders think that they're the only ones that do it, but they don't. It's not. It's like, as I said, and it's called ingressive pulmonic speech, or an ingressive particle. And Jennifer and I are going to try to demonstrate when you would use it. So you're agreeing with somebody, but you're actually, they call it an ingressive particle because you're just breathing in for a word instead of actually saying the word.
Because normally you breathe out when you're speaking.
Yes. And it sounds like... So we're going to try to do it.
Okay, let her rip.
Hard to believe the water buckets would be frozen in the barn.
Yeah.
It's May.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the reason, what's special about that. It's not just lazy talking. It usually happens in informal talking, in informal conversation. And when the person that does it, they're not just agreeing with you, they're letting you know that they understand the whole context of what you're saying. Like, who would believe that your water buckets would freeze in your barn in May?
Yeah.
But if you live on PEI, you know that that's true. So you're commiserating as well as agreeing with the same.
It's a very bonding activity.
Yes. And it usually happens between people that they know each other well and they know the context of what you're saying. So that
they're very relaxed.
Yeah,
very familiar.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's almost like no explanation needed.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah.
Completely. That's right. So a lot of islanders think that that's kind of just on the island, but it actually, they think that it's comes from places where Gaelic speakers or Gaelic speakers landed. So it also occurs in other countries where
well, it's certainly in Nova Scotia. The
Yes.
weird thing is that our
Cape
grandfather used to do it.
Yeah.
But not the Cape Breton grandfather only. Our Lunenburg
Yeah.
grandfather used to do it too.
Yeah. And then they think
he was crackerjack at it.
yeah. And they think that it also originally came from Norse. Like Norsemen, Vikings and stuff that came, because they were the first Europeans to populate those areas. And then the Gaelic languages actually derive from, like, have a base in those languages. So it does end up somewhere in some of really northern Europe as well. They do it.
So I'm sure we have some people watching that are closer in culture to those original what are they, civilizations or whatever that can say, if they still do it in Norway or whatever. Finland
or Sweden or whatever. And the reason why areas that do it think that they're the only ones that do it is because you don't do it with people that you don't really know very well.
Yeah.
Because it indicates a certain closeness.
I actually don't do it at all, but I do know that when we first moved here, my ex-husband really picked up on it and was like, what is with that? And he'd do it all the time, just as like as a lark, because he'd never heard that before. Yeah. Nobody thought he belonged.
The hat. That was the first clue. I think we told that story already.
Anyway, yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I told that story.
Yeah, it's a funny one. Do you want to tell it?
Well, should I be talking about him behind his back?
No. Well,
we're
he not saying anything bad.
He had this rabbit fur hat with earlugs, which was horrific looking, which he loved.
Mm-hmm.
And we had just moved here, and he went up to Cooper's.
Yeah.
He was going up to Cooper's. I said, "You're not going up to Cooper's wearing that hat, are you?" Of course I am. I love my hat. This is a great hat. I'm going right up to Cooper's wearing this hat. Watch me go to Cooper's in my rabbit fur earlug hat. And earlugs are what we call the flaps that come over your ears, but that's not a very common word for that either. If you Google that, it doesn't even come up.
It doesn't?
No. I tried. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the ear flaps, we call them earlugs.
Yeah. Not everybody did.
No, I don't think so. So anyway, he goes up to Cooper's, comes back, pleases punch. Mm-hmm. They loved my hat at Cooper's. I said, really? They loved your hat at Cooper's? Uh-huh. Loved it. Everybody commented on it. Thought it was great. I'm like, what did they say exactly? They said, wow, Stephen, that's some hat. I'm like, that doesn't mean they loved it. Yeah. It just means they really noticed it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was very surprised with the local sayings that "bless her heart" wasn't. I thought that was like an term of endearment, but apparently not always.
No, I think they use it sarcastically a lot.
Yes,
which I love.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that because it's in the South.
Yeah,
I love that. Just a little bit of grit to that.
Yeah,
I can appreciate that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
people will comment if they.
Yes.
Well, somebody did comment about the Bless Your Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just sort of recognize that because it's in a Miranda Lambert song.
Oh, okay.
She says Miranda Lambert has that song Only Prettier.
Yeah.
And it says in it, I don't have to be hateful, I can just say bless your heart.
Oh, okay. Then everybody knows. What
It's like when you're being generous.
Yeah.
Obviously. I guess.
Okay.
Anyway, that's
It's
cute.
funny. Anyway,
Yeah.
the sayings were fantastic. So thanks for everybody that
and
commented.
please do comment this week too, because it
Yeah.
helps us get more eyeballs.
Yeah.
Super helpful.
And I really, there was a comment too about, because we talked about accents, and I love the one that said that accent. Well, I didn't have an accent before I got here. Yeah, true. And then people that have picked up on parts of our accent. So the one that I read this morning was that we say right here. So we don't say right here. We say right here.
Right here?
Right here.
Okay.
And I was like, wait, what? I don't know what to say. So I said it to myself a couple times, and I was like, oh yeah, we don't say right. We say right here. I'm going to put it right here.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right.
Very good ear.
Right here. Right
Yeah.
here. Yeah. And then somebody else was saying that everybody in their family is so sick of listening to us say yarn.
Yeah.
They're all going around saying yarn, yarn, yarn.
I still don't really understand.
I can't do it. Like,
How
yarn.
else do you say it?
Yarn. I think you have to it's just, you can't, yarn. Is that right? Let me know. How am I doing?
Yeah. We're not going to change the way we
Yarn.
talk, but
Yarn.
yeah. Yarn. Oh yeah, maybe. That sounds different.
I'll just be like, we want to show you this yarn.
Yeah. Now we just look scary. Like there's something wrong. Okay.
Anyway.
All right, so there.
We do our
Aggressive
best. Okay.
pulmonic
Okay. Yeah.
speech. Yeah. Sometimes it's just and sometimes it's got three.
Yeah. I think, you know what it is? Yeah. Is like, keep going. Yeah. Is like, we've talked about that enough now. Let's move on.
I know what you mean.
I get the picture. Times 3. Let's change the subject.
Okay. And the water buckets actually were really frozen this morning. So not in the bar.
Okay.
But the windows.
Okay. Moving on. Ask us anything.
So ask us anything. We had a couple ask us anything because I didn't look at them last time when we. Are you looking at my hair again?
No, sorry. I actually just zoned out in the back of my mind, and I happened to be looking in your direction.
You zoned out?
My brain just went. It was turning towards you, and then
okay.
something
else
happened
was happening
in the back end.
Okay. We had a power surge in the back. All right. Okay. So there was a really good one about, and I forgot to write down the person that asked it.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, they'll hopefully they're watching. They'll get the answer to their question. And it was about storing wool. That when you buy your wool yarn. And, this is sometimes called a skein, but it's also sometimes called a hank. So
Okay.
I think more properly, it's actually a hank.
Yes.
Yes, we call it skein all the time. Anyway, should you store it like this, or should you ball it up right away? And the answer is no, you should store it like this. Because when you ball your yarn, you do put some tension on it. And so it's better just to store it like this without tension on it. I think that if it's 100% wool yarn, if you washed it or wet it, it would bounce right back, because that's the property of wool that makes it wonderful, is that it has a lot of elasticity to it. But you shouldn't ball it up to store it. Okay, so that was one part of our question.
Were they concerned about moths at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think we handled that.
Okay.
Yeah, the format.
Yeah.
So, well, she did say there's more to
Okay.
it. So then the next part of her question was, and if you have yarn, how many times can you reuse it? So if you've knit something that you really don't like, or you have a work in progress that you know you're not going to finish and you want to take out all of the yarn, or you want to take it all apart and then reuse the wool for something else or the yarn for something else, how many times can you do that? And I don't know how many times you could do it, but I would say as long as in the process you haven't felted it or damaged it in some way by rough handling that you could probably use it a few times.
I would say do it until you find it starts splitting or there's something that's lost in the quality of it that would be noticeable. Otherwise, once you wet it, it goes right back to where it came from.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So, and we're talking about 100%.
Yeah, like the twist isn't going to come out of it. It's probably, if it's natural and a good quality, it's probably not going to pill.
Yeah.
I think you could do it until you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's right. So I would say there's not really a definite answer about that. And I am going to redo my swatch for cotton yarn. I don't know for that either, but I will redo my swatch with the same yarn that I did my first one. The one thing I will say though is that it's not just a matter of undoing it all and then knitting with it. You have to wet it. And then you would create a new skein again, because it's really hard. You can do it, but it's really hard to knit with the yarn when it's all crinkly, and it doesn't. It really
would mess
doesn't
up your tension.
Yeah, it doesn't really look very good. I have tried that, and it's difficult. It's not a pleasure to knit with when it's all like crinkly and your fabric is all the wool fabric that you make needs to be blocked, but in this case it really messes it up. It doesn't really look very, it's hard to knit with it like that. So and then how do you store it when you're just storing it? So there's kind of a couple answers. Some people say don't put it in plastic. Some people say put it in plastic. I don't know. What do you think about that? I have both. I have some in plastic and some not.
I am going to say something very unpopular right now and very out of line with the business I'm in. And that is, I would personally not store thousands of dollars of yarn long-term, unused, stagnant, period.
Right.
Because you are asking to have it eaten.
Yeah.
It will happen.
Yeah.
Eventually it will happen.
Yeah.
And you won't find where it's been eaten until you take it out and go like this. And then all your little ends will cascade off. So I'm going to guess that there are people with large closets full of stash that are kidding themselves. That if they actually took that yarn apart and did this, they would find that some of it's already been eaten. Because there is no house that does not have a moth in it.
Yeah.
So I would definitely put it in plastic.
Yeah.
I definitely would.
Yeah.
So I try not to keep a lot of it around, to be honest. And if you're not going to at least shake it out regularly or vacuum it.
And when we're saying eaten, we're talking about moths.
Yes.
And the moths get in there when it's undisturbed.
Yeah.
For a long period of time.
Yeah. So if you've got piles and piles and piles of it, I'd be very surprised to find out, like people who have whole rooms full of wool, and they don't have any traps or anything like that, and they think that that's all intact back in there, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
So I would definitely put it in plastic. I store mine. I do have some large lots of different yarns that I bought before, and I keep it in my cedar chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably about the best way. But it would have to be perfectly clean when you put it away to not attract those little beasts.
And there's not, and it's if you've got really nice, like some of the nicest fibers are the ones that are the most delicious.
Oh yeah, they love cashmere.
So cashmere and like the Angora and stuff like that. That actually is more likely to get
and you need to take your projects out and shake them out in between seasons, or even wash them and store them back. So I just don't think you should have piles of it laying around and expect it to stay perfect.
If it's all open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you're going to have lots of it, I would, if they're projects, I would wash them and then put them in plastic. And I mean, nobody is going to use mothballs. That would certainly work.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you put it in plastic, you could be trapping the little guys in there with it.
Well, you're supposed to, well, for garments anyway, you're supposed to wash them before you
Yeah.
put them away.
Yeah, but
So
I mean,
we
you don't
already did a
know.
whole section
You don't
about
know
that,
when
but-
you take this from the store how many greasy hands have already fondled it in
Yeah.
the shelf, and then you
Yeah.
take it home and there's organic matter on that from sweat or whatever comes off people's skin, and they will go
Yeah.
right to it.
Yeah.
So, but you know, if you take it and it falls apart, you just splice them all back together. It's
Yeah.
not that you can't
Yeah, you
use
can
it.
still use it. And I do find that the more rustic yarns are more resistant. Mm-hmm. They don't seem to be as attractive,
Right.
I would say. Because I do have I have a room in the house where I have some yarns that are just open on the shelf, and the ones that are the most rustic, like just 100% wool, no other fibers in it, and are kind of bigger yarns like Aran weight and stuff like that, don't seem to be bothered by anything. I may be kidding myself too if I actually went in and did, but I haven't found anything happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
The finer, and it's the same as with your sweaters. If you've left them in the drawer for too long and hadn't laundered them, it's not the 100% wool one that gets eaten. It's the cashmere one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They love that stuff.
Yeah. It's like a decoy.
I'm surprised you don't have a hole on that in our house for years.
Yeah, I wash them pretty
You
often.
wash them regularly?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, if
though.
you disturb them often enough, they
Yeah.
won't get it. You know, like if you vacuum your rug, you won't.
Yeah,
You
and I
won't
don't have
get it.
it.
They don't like to be disturbed.
Yeah.
They just fly into the wind. Like it
Yeah.
really has to be very still for that to happen.
Yeah.
But
So and
it's like dust.
Yeah, I have had sweaters that have been attacked, but this one I kind of checked it over this morning but I'm pretty conscientious about washing them too. So and you use a hand wash cycle in my washing machine, and I wash them. So
It's really frustrating when it happens. It's
Yeah.
usually like right here.
yeah, or right here.
Because it's when you're eating.
Yeah.
You get a little tiny something on it,
Yeah.
it'll go right to it.
Yeah.
So it's never on your back.
No.
Because there's not as
Yeah.
much organic matter back there.
Yeah.
So.
The next question is the average amount of yarn for a project.
Right.
Of different projects. This is a hard one to answer. Because the range is so big. It depends on the
Weight of the
gauge
yarn.
of the yarn. It depends on your attention. It depends on what you're gonna what stitch pattern you use. It's really this is a tricky business. And we have a little guide that we use here, but it's really every time somebody asks me this question, if it's not a pattern, they don't have a pattern in mind, and I can see how I always go, I don't know. Tricky. However, there are all kinds of resources online. If you want to Google amount of yarn for knitting, just put that in, or amount of yarn needed, and there's literally hundreds of charts that come up. And some of them have different weight. Some of them, use calculations and everything. I would just recommend that you do that. Mm-hmm. And in this case, this was asked by a person that doesn't knit with a pattern. She kind of makes it freestyles sweaters, which I think is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
That sounds like fun. But that makes it even more hard to decide how much yarn you're going to need. So it's a little bit tricky to do that. So I don't know. What would you say about that?
Yeah, it's not nearly impossible.
Yeah. Okay, so
I mean, if you wanted to be really on the safe side and you didn't care if you had extra, 2,000 yards for a sweater would do most.
Yes,
But it depends on the size.
Mm-hmm. Like my Jobat's arm took 1,700. Yeah. And then, ranunculus for you,
It's 500.
500.
Yeah.
So it really depends.
Big range. But
Yeah.
you can always find a pattern in that range. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it. Like Ravelry is amazing for that. Just use your filters.
So in this case, if you want to freestyle your pattern, I would look and see, what kind of sweater are you making? Is it a long sleeve? The body is fairly simple, straight stockinette. Look to see how much yarn those patterns take. If it's a lot of cabling and something, more complicated, look and see that, because they'll always take more if there's cabling. If it's lace, you take less. So It has lace panels, so that's about all we can say about that, I think.
Yeah, like if you think you like cables, you definitely want more than
Yeah.
you would typically think.
Right. So we've had some requests about the toenail story.
Right. So
We're gonna
this is
just give
really
her a warning.
gross. I have a very up close picture. If you're watching this on a big screen TV, brace yourselves.
Okay.
I hope we don't. It looks like really gross. So
Yeah.
how did this happen
So,
again?
okay, we're going to give you fair warning.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the Fiber Festival update, and then we're going to tell the story after that. So we'll do the Fiber Festival update, which
Okay.
there is none.
Done.
So,
Carrying on.
The Fiber Festival, we're still planning it.
Yeah.
Apparently on May 15th, we're going to have some more information
Okay.
about those kind of things. There have been festivals that have been canceled on the island, but happened before our Fiber Festival, the Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival happened. So we will be giving more information going forward. But right now the committee is still going forward. So now the toenail story.
Okay.
So in the morning when I get ready for chores, I wear wool socks every day. In fact, I wear 2 pairs of wool socks because I have nice mohair ones that I wear underneath, and then I put another wool sock, like a rougher one, outside because I wear rubber boots. So I have my foot with a tight pair of socks and a looser pair of wool socks and my rubber boots on, and that's how my feet are dressed to go out.
This really seems almost impossible.
It does all. If I hadn't seen it and felt it myself, it really would be
Okay,
impossible.
so well protected toes.
Well protected toes. We have gates that we use that are typical farm gates.
Well, I think we talked about them
and
last
we talked
time,
about
or
them,
a couple
and
times ago.
they don't go all the way down. They don't scrape on the ground, but they go pretty close to the ground. And in the barns, the straw and stuff builds up around them, so they're really like they just skim the ground. So we have those gates outside, and we also have them in the pens in the barn. And I was feeding the rams, because the rams have their own little apartment, and I was feeding them in their barn, and they have one of those gates that are in their pen, and it swings into the pen, and then it doesn't swing both ways. There's a stop on the side of the pen. So as I was turning around to put the chain around the gate, I must have had my foot inside the pen a little bit, and I was bringing the gate towards me to be able to fasten it. One of the rams put his head through the rungs of the gate and rammed it. And it went over my foot with my boot and my 2 socks. And it really, really hurt. And I was like, oh boy. This feels like it's going to be
Not
nasty.
good.
Because I felt like my toenail came off. So we went into the house, and I took off my boot, and I took off the first sock, and I could see the blood on the second sock.
Okay, let's not make it more graphic than it already is. We're going to show a picture.
Okay. So when are we showing the picture
Okay,
now?
well, yeah, let's go. Okay.
Okay, so this is what it looked like.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. Plus, it was bent and creased.
And broken. So
Well, it was creased.
Yes.
You couldn't cut it off. Like,
Yes.
there was...
So I don't know how it flipped backwards.
Oh.
And the center part was like it had been clipped. But the 2 ends were still attached. And I couldn't get it back. So I tried pushing it forward to try to flatten it. So because I was just going to leave it attached and cut it really short and put a Band-Aid or something around it. But I couldn't get it back. It stayed up like that.
Yeah, it was creased.
Yeah.
Because big toenails are thick.
Yeah. So then we had to perform surgery.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I couldn't cut it myself.
And it wasn't easy because you couldn't get right down to the crease. It
No.
still had a little lip on it.
Yeah. So I had to go around with that little lip until it
It took
grew
for
out.
several months, I imagine.
Well, at least several weeks, like 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, I lost my toenail. I dropped the harrow on it.
Yeah.
Remember? Well, I dropped the harrow on it and it was going to stay. Then a sheep stomped on it. Then the toenail gave up.
Good cried uncle.
Right. And the toenail was like, this is ridiculous. I'm moving out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and if it had done that, already painful enough,
but then
it just grows out, it's flat. But that
it
little
was
thing,
stuck up like that.
it was stuck up like that
It really
for
was.
weeks.
How would you think? And you can't get down in there to like,
No.
You would almost have to, we tried filing it off
Yeah.
smooth and
Yeah,
it was
it
really
was
a
impossible.
problem.
And it really hurt.
Yeah, it looks, you can tell by looking at it, it really hurt.
Yeah. So, and if you put any pressure on it, it dug it. Is that enough detail?
I think that's enough detail.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So that, you guys asked for it. So that's the toenail story.
All right.
So another great addition to In the Annals of Knitting podcast.
Please
Stories.
share your strange foot injuries in the comments. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the toenail story.
All right.
Not our fault you asked.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to wrap up.
Yeah.
This is a B episode, so we don't
Yep.
typically go on for quite as long. And I'm really excited actually for the knitting updates that will be taking place next episode. Now
Yes.
that I'm knitting again, it's much more fun.
Yeah.
For me. Anyway, so please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Please put a little comment down below so that we get treated favorably by the YouTube
Which is
fairy.
working.
It's working so
Yeah.
much. It's really increasing
Yeah.
our subscriber rate. So thank
Yeah.
you to all the people who've been commenting loyally since we started asking, even with a little
Yeah.
emoji. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
It's helping us. It's helping drive sales and helping our business.
Yeah.
And then don't forget to join the Ravelry group if you haven't already.
Yeah. And subscribe to the newsletter.
Yes.
If you haven't, because that's where with the newsletter that talks about this podcast is where you find your
Virtual knit night.
virtual knit night link and
And we've
password.
been doing the recipes.
Yes.
So we made a butterscotch pie this week.
Yeah. Somebody
Delicious.
asked us for a list of the recipes.
Yes.
But they're not our recipes. So
No, but I'm just linking to external sites.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're finding.
Because of course the rights to those recipes belong to somebody,
Yeah.
not us, so you have to credit them directly.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that, how I can put all those links in a maybe in another Ravelry thread.
Maybe.
Just plunk it in there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, perfect.
All right,
well,
good.
thank you for
So-
joining us.
Yeah.
We hope you had fun,
Yep.
and we'll see you in a week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.